You're welcome in our community updated sport news. Click on the subscribe ring for becoming one of the community. Who will win the Premier League? Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester City, Brighton.
The returning Diogo Jota scored a late equaliser as Premier League leaders Liverpool twice fought back with 10 men to deny Fulham following Andy Robertson's red card at Anfield. Jota, sidelined with injury since October, slotted in an 86th minute leveller after Rodrigo Muniz looked over-ended the Reds' second-half resistance. Cody Gakpo's header from Mohamed Salah's sublime cross shortly after halftime had cancelled out Andreas Pereira's 11th minute opener. 6 minutes after Pereira volleyed Fulham ahead, Liverpool's task became even tougher when Robertson was dismissed for denying Harry Wilson a goal-scoring opportunity, while Fulham centre-back Issa Diop had earlier escaped with a booking for a high challenge on the offside. Robertson. There was no such fortune for the Liverpool left-back, and a lengthy video assistant referee (VAR) review confirmed Wilson was onside before pouncing on his mistake. After Wilson fizzed the resulting free kick narrowly over Alisson's goal, Liverpool reset and continued to cause Fulham problems, but Luis Diaz headed over the hosts' best chance before half-time. However, a re-energised Liverpool stormed out of the blocks in the second half, and Gakpo's instant leveller after the restart sparked the Anfield crowd into life. Fulham's failure to capitalise on their numerical advantage fueled Liverpool's belief, and Salah twice went close to completing the turnaround but could not find the target before Muniz delivered a sucker punch. There was to be one final twist late in an enthralling contest when Jota marked his return with a fine finish to set up a chaotic, breathless conclusion, with both sides made to settle for a point. After a thrilling 3-3 draw with Newcastle 10 days ago, Liverpool's title rivals were able to make up further ground after last weekend's Merseyside derby against Everton was postponed by severe weather. But they extended their lead over Chelsea, who host Brentford on Sunday, to 5 points after third-place Arsenal were held to a goalless draw by Everton. Chelsea do not face a single top 7 or Big 6 opponent in any of their next 7 Premier League games and sit only 4 points behind Liverpool, with a similar goal difference, following Sunday's 4-3 win at Tottenham. On a weekend where they didn't even play, Liverpool gained some traction on 2 of their title rivals, Arsenal and Manchester City. In many ways, things couldn't be going much better for Arne Slot's side. Things looked even better with Tottenham 2-0 up on their other closest challengers, Chelsea, inside 11 minutes on Sunday. It looked like a potential classic Spurs victory until Enzo Maresca regrouped his side at the interval, told them they were still in the game, and then watched them net 3 second half goals to win 4-3. And more importantly, it moved them 4 points off the league leaders, who had a watching brief after Storm Dera's unwelcome input put paid to the Merseyside derby on Saturday lunchtime. And more importantly, it moved them 4 points off the league leaders, who had a watching brief after Storm Dera's unwelcome input put paid to the Merseyside derby on Saturday lunchtime. It was 45 minutes away from being Liverpool's perfect weekend. But instead Chelsea have a dangerous trio of momentum, the most potent attack in the Premier League, and a favourable fixture list over the coming weeks. Liverpool have only one free midweek until the end of January, and that comes over the busy New Year period. So it looks unlikely they will be able to find a new date to face Everton during that time, meaning a 4-point swing would be enough for Chelsea to overturn their lead, with the deepest squad of the title chasers, and now out in front as the top scorers in the division. Enzo Maresca's insistence that the Blues are not in the race may not hold water for much longer. Of Chelsea's next 7 league games before a trip to the Etihad Stadium on January 25th. Only Crystal Palace finished last season in the top half of the Premier League, and none currently sit inside this year's top 7. The average position of their opponents in that time is 13.7, while Arsenal's is 11.9 and Liverpool's the highest with 11.1. The Reds also have to face traditional Big Six rivals, Tottenham and Man United in that time, though both currently languish in the bottom half of the league, as well as Nottingham Forest, who won at Old Trafford on Saturday. The only three top half teams Chelsea face come in the form of Brentford, Bournemouth and Fulham, with all three travelling to Stamford Bridge, and each an opponent the Blues will be confident of beating on their day. That would, bizarrely enough, need to begin with a first-ever Premier League home win over the Bees this weekend, as Thomas Frank's side have beaten them in all three games at Stamford Bridge since their promotion in 2021. But this is a Chelsea side in the kind of form which it has been lacking in recent years. While Brentford are yet to win away from home this season, the Blues' run of 12 goals in 3 games to see off Aston Villa, Southampton and now Spurs has elevated them to the position of the division's top goal scorers, for ahead of Frank's Bees in an unlikely second spot. Those goals have come from 7 different scorers across the week, with Maresca fully showcasing the depth of his squad to allow 21 different players to feature in the 270 minutes of Premier League football. Only Southampton, Man City and Ipswich have made more starting lineup changes this season, but it has not affected Maresca's side in the same way as any of the trio, given the strength of options he has in reserve. The Blues' other 4 games come against Ipswich, Crystal Palace, Everton and Wolves, all sides within 5 points of the relegation zone as things stand. Chelsea are yet to be beaten by any side in the bottom half, and have a points per game record only bettered by their 2 title rivals Arsenal and Liverpool in games against teams outside the top 10. Whether Chelsea's points tally and form is enough to sustain a title charge for another 23 games will be tested in the new year. But Jamie Carragher thinks they will lack the quality defensively to lift the Premier League trophy in May. Addressing their title challenge on Super Sunday, he said, "It is real because they are there. The big advantage for them is not playing in the Champions League. So Maresca can change the whole team and it's still a proper team. They've got 6 or 7 forwards who you could arguably say are first choice. Not being in the Carabao Cup could be important if Arsenal or Liverpool get to the final. I look at the goalkeeper and 2 centre-backs, Benoit Badiashile, who played against Tottenham, and I just can't see someone winning the Premier League with that goalkeeper and without real standout centre-back. City won it with Ederson and Ruben Dias, Liverpool with Alisson and Virgil van Dijk. You go back to John Terry and Peter Cech. Those figures, you think you need to win a title. I still think Chelsea are still a little bit short in those areas." Chelsea's next 7 league fixtures: December 15th, Brentford, H. December 22nd, Everton, A. December 26th, Fulham, H. December 30th, Ipswich, A. January 4th, Crystal Palace, A. January 14th, Bournemouth, H. January 20th, Wolves, H. Liverpool's next 7 league fixtures: December 14th, Fulham, H. December 22nd, Tottenham, A. December the 26th, Leicester, H. December 29th, West Ham, A. January 5th, Man United, H. January 14th, Nottingham Forest, A. January 18th, Brentford, H. Arsenal's next 7 league fixtures: December 14th, Everton, H. December 21st, Crystal Palace, A. December 27th, Ipswich, H. January 1st, Brentford, A. January 5th, Brighton, A. January 15th, Tottenham, H. January 18th, Aston Villa, H.